administration, Mamdani, mind you, is literally saying that they have to continue basically the court case that legal aid and city council did against the Adams administration has now carried over into the Mamdani's administration. Mamdani administration is basically saying, oh yeah, that's right, we don't have the money for this. The city is in such a deficit. Something happened to where the deficit has moved from 12 billion to 7 billion. I think it was something about Wall Street profits or something like that. So I guess those profits have brought the deficit down to 7 billion now. But nonetheless, there is a deficit in this city. So we do not have the money to expand this program. This program bleeds out millions and millions of dollars from the city. Not to mention, you have poor advocates for these people. They often continue the cycle of going back to the shelter because they're evicted. I know I evicted mine. So you have to think, for every other person, there's somebody who's up in an apartment, gets evicted, goes back into the shelter, costs the city more money. Then you have to pay the same moving costs, furniture costs, brokers' fees. The cycle continues until that's also bleeding the program dry. So then you have people who actually need and deserve the program who can't get it unless they forfeit their apartment and go into a shelter and spend the time. And then they're discriminated against because you have people like me who feel so burnt by HRA and from the tenant, they don't want to deal with the vouchers anymore.
So we see here Mamdani came out and basically said he's fighting against the expansion of the housing voucher program. New York City Council is trying to come up and expand it. That means they want to take care of more people. They want to change the requirements to have people more eligible to get these housing voucher programs. But Mamdani is actually fighting against it. He's actually taken up the same case that Eric Adams had, fighting against the expansion of housing voucher programs. This is why you have to understand Mamdani lied to all y'all. He was telling you guys he was going to open up these programs, make it better for you guys. But once he finally got in there, he saw that the money's getting taken away. It's getting bled dry. It's because of these programs. These programs are not working. And Mamdani told you guys the moon. He told you guys he's going to make everything free for you. But you can't have all these free programs with no money coming in. New Yorkers are leaving. High-value people that have a lot of money are leaving New York. Companies are leaving New York. Corporations are leaving New York. There's no money coming in. You already have Governor Kathy Hochul begging for people to come back. But why would they come back when the money's going to these programs that are not doing anything? So now you have Mamdani actually doing the same thing that Eric Adams is doing when actually he ran his whole campaign saying he's going to run opposite and do the opposite things of Eric Adams. He's a fraud. He fooled all of the New Yorkers. I really thought that New Yorkers were people that were smart, to be honest. I don't know how you guys got fooled so bad and it's so quickly. He hasn't even been in there for, 6 months yet? He's been there for like 3 or 4 months. This is insane how he got everybody in New York to think that he was actually going to make these things free, easier. But once he got in there and saw that we had a $12 billion, $7 billion deficit in New York, he knew that these programs wouldn't work. So now he's fighting the expansion of these programs because you guys are spending money for people who really don't care about being on these programs. Only people that wins are the people in the city council and these people, whoever's in charge of these programs, whoever's getting paid for these things, because the landlords aren't getting what they need. It's just crazy how you have somebody that you guys listen to in New York that he said he was going to do everything opposite of Eric Adams. So far, he's doing everything that Eric Adams has done. How is he different than Eric Adams? How is he different from Mayor Eric Adams? How is he different? He has done nothing different. He got in there and figured out, I can't do nothing. What we need to do is cut the money, stop the spending. That's the most important thing about New York, what they refuse to do, and this is why they continue to be in a deficit. It's because they stop being in a deficit. I mean, because they won't stop spending, and which will add to their deficit, which will add to them borrowing more money, which will add to increased taxes, or taking away rainy day fund money to pay for these programs for people who don't even care to get better, to get off of these programs. That's the thing you have to understand, man. Mamdani bit off more than he can chew. He promised too much without seeing the real numbers about how the city is ran and where the money is going to.
So everybody on the tenant side is pretty much. Now you have people who are not going to be able to get the voucher because he's saying that, oh, we're going to keep adjourning the case because we need time to figure out what we're going to tell legal aid and city council on why we cannot uphold these laws. It's in the article. I'm going to paste the whole article. I screenshotted every single page. I read it during lunch. So, again, what people don't understand is ain't free. If the money isn't there, not to mention, they have up property tax on everybody and their mom, which means rents are going to go higher. They have decreased every single form of city thefts voucher by at least $70 to $100. So that means you're going to be in competition with Section 8 that has not budged. They actually raised their rate. That's 3. And then 4, again, he literally does not know. His whole entire administration doesn't know how to deal with these laws because we cannot afford to expand this program. We're still in the deficit. He still wants to help migrants. He's still screaming about this free shit, but he never looked at a budget, at least not for the city as a whole. Maybe for his district as state assembly, I don't really know if they look at budgets, but he never looked at a budget. And he was sitting there saying, you get this, you get that. He was the Oprah of, Muslim people. It's like, so now he thinks he's Oprah of the city, but now he's realizing, oh. And then he keeps trying to blame Adams when this motherfucker said, mind you, I don't like Adams, but he damn surely was begging Trump for help. He was literally saying, we cannot handle these. He was begging Trump. He begged, what do you call it? Not Trump, sorry. He begged Biden, the Biden administration. He said, we need help for all of these migrants. They are going to suck the city dry. He said between 8 and 12 billion. You can find articles, you can find videos. There's a ton of information on it. So now how are you going to make all these promises when you never looked at the fiscal budget for this city?
Mamdani sold New Yorkers the dream. But we all know that only way you make it in New York, you got to work hard and get money. The free people that got things for free in New York never make it. New York is built on working hard, being a stand-up people, not just taking the okie doke, being smart, being gritty, being hard workers. That's what New Yorkers are known for, right? Where Mamdani tried to turn you guys into living a dream for free, but Mamdani's never seen the budget. This is what happens when you vote for these people and put people in office that never done or touched a budget before. I feel like that should be a prerequisite for politicians. You got to know how to run a business. A lot of these people that are talking big talk in Congress or, mayors and governors, they never even seen a budget before. They never even ran a business. They're just all talk. And that's what Mamdani is. He was all talk and he fooled the city of New York. He fooled you guys. You guys are, to be honest, I don't think Mamdani is going to make it a full term. And if he does make it a full term, he won't get revoted in because the city's going to go into shambles. Shambles. There's nobody that's in favor of Mamdani. Really, it's like seriously. People can say the Muslims and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, they want to make money too. If they on these programs, if he putting migrants on these programs and the landlords are not hiring or are taking these programs in their property, it doesn't mean anything. Those people won't have housing. So it's just the point of that. Always just research the people that you're voting for, because Mamdani, he sold you guys the dream, New York, and you guys are paying for it immensely. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, keep thinking rocket. Tap into the No Filter Morning Show Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I appreciate you guys, and I'm out.